Hi everybody, my name's Beth and I will be guiding you through your basic yoga flow today. As we go through our practice, always listen to your body first and see how you're feeling as I'm offering these different poses and positions as we move through our practice. So if you need to modify at any time, please do so. If you need to take a break, please do so. And then as well, if you want to intensify, you're welcome to do so as well. So just listen to what's best for you, hear my cues, and see how they're going to translate in your body for today. All right, let's get started. We'll start in a seated position, Sukhasana, easy pose. You'll come onto your sit bones, cross your legs, sit up tall. And then if your knees are really high above your hips, you're welcome to sit on a pillow or blanket, or if you have a block, you're welcome to sit on a block as well. You can use a book if you don't have a block, that's fine as well. And then you'll notice when you sit on something and elevate your hips, your knees will come down. You may even be able to sit up a little bit taller because your pelvis will get into place. So notice if that will work for you today. If not, that's fine too. Find a comfortable seat. And then from here, just sit up tall, lift your shoulders up towards your ears, take an inhale, and exhale, bring your shoulders back and down. Maybe you close your eyes or have a soft gaze down in front of you. Take a deep breath in, feel the crown of your head rise towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, feel your shoulders melt down towards the earth as your sit bones anchor into the ground just a little bit more. Hands can be on your legs or in your lap, doesn't matter. Inhale. Open your mouth. Exhale, let it go. Let's do 3 more breaths just like that. Inhale through the nose. Open your mouth. Exhale through your mouth. Nice and slow. One more together. Inhale. Feel the breath all the way up through your shoulders to the crown of your head. Open your mouth, exhale, release. Now seal your lips here, breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your nose. Maybe creating a slight restriction in the back of your throat, initiating your Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Feel the breath go all the way down into your hips. Through your nose, exhale. Now continue with your own rhythm of breath, in and out through your nose, really slowing down your inhales and then controlling your exhales as you release into that surrender of your breath. Notice your spine, maybe a slight squeeze of your shoulder blades can be beneficial right now, lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Let's do 3 more breaths here before we start adding some movement. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now is a good time to do so. However, you do not need to if you do not want to. Keep your attention on your breath and any subtle body sensations you are feeling. At the bottom of your next exhale, bring your chin towards your chest, and then go ahead and blink your eyes open, looking down towards your lap, towards your legs, and then inhale, lift your head up. Bring your hands by your sides. Inhale, reach your fingertips out and up. Maybe you look up, maybe not. Maybe you look forward. Hands touch at the top. Exhale, hands to your heart. Connecting breath to movement. 2 more. Inhale, reach your fingertips out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart, settling into this pose. Last one. Inhale, reach out. And then lifting fingertips all the way up, maybe reaching a little higher towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to your heart. This time we're gonna add a lateral stretch. Inhale, fingertips out and up. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm reaches over to the left. You're going to take your left ribs over to the right as you look up or down or straight to the side, doesn't matter. Inhale in this position. Exhale, sink in just a little bit deeper. Inhale, reach both fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands down, right hand down, left arm reaches over. Take your right ribs over to the left, finding that stretch on the left side body. Inhale into your left rib. Exhale, reach over to the right just a little bit more. Inhale, reach up. We're going to twist to the left. Exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, sit up tall, and then exhale, rotate. So you're welcome to look over your back shoulder. You can look over your front shoulder. Whichever way you look, just bring your chin towards your shoulder and find a stretch in your neck. Doesn't matter if you look forward or back. Inhale, extend your spine long, and exhale, twist a little deeper. If you tucked your chin down, lift it up. Inhale, release, allow your body to come to neutral, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the right, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, we rotate. Now, if you looked back over your back shoulder last time or forward, do that again. And then if you looked for that neck stretch, go ahead and bring your chin down towards your shoulder, towards your neck, finding the stretch, the back of your neck here. Inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Then lift your head if you tucked your chin. Allow your body to rotate. Inhale into neutral. You're going to either keep your legs crossed here or bring your feet together, knees out wide for Baddha Konasana. Again, you can just keep your feet in Sukhasana. That's absolutely fine. Inhale, sit up tall. Maybe grab onto your ankles or your shins. And exhale, either stay upright or walk your hands forward for a little bit of a forward fold here. Now, if your knees are out wide, feet together, you can grab onto your feet and take your elbows and push them into your shins. If that feels okay, it's still really early in practice. Deep breath in, extend your spine long. And then on your exhale, surrender into this pose and allow yourself to go just a little deeper. Next, inhale, hands plant down. Walk your hands back towards your torsos. Grab to the outsides of your knees. Knees come into center, and then you're going to bring your legs around. So we are coming to a tabletop position. You're going to come onto your hands and knees. Your shoulder is going to be over your wrists. Your hips are going to be over your knees. Push the tops of your feet into the mat. Unless you need to modify and tuck your toes here, that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Spread your fingers wide. We're going to find some cat-cows in this position, and we're going to move from our tailbone. Inhale, you're going to lift your tailbone up, broaden across your chest, allow your belly to drop. And then exhale, start to tuck your tailbone under as you push your hands into the mat and spread your shoulder blades away from one another, round through your spine. This is cat pose. Inhale, lift tailbone, drop belly, lift gaze. Bring your shoulder blades down your back, cow pose. And exhale, push into your hands, round your spine, spread your shoulder blades away from one another, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, drop belly, lift gaze for cow pose. And exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Find a neutral spine here. All that means is that your tailbone is a neutral position and there's no droop in your lower back. So if you have a droop in your lower back, you're going to engage through your lower abdominals and you'll feel a lift and a lengthen through your lower back. From there, you're going to step your right toes back behind you. Toes come onto the mat. Keep your hips level here. You may even bring your hand back behind you, your left hand, and touch your sacrum if you'd like, just to see if your hips are level. Sometimes a hip will lift up, but we want to keep them level. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another, and then from there, both hands onto the mat, and inhale, lift your right leg off the mat. You're going to flex your foot. Lift your inner thigh up towards the ceiling so all your toes point down. Now flex your foot and then extend through your heels so you take the bend out of your leg. You can hold here or you can keep both hands onto the mat. You can also lift left arm up, reach it forward and Spread your fingers wide, reach forward like you're trying to shake somebody's hand. This is bird dog pose. Deep breath in here. I'm gonna add some movements with our breath. Exhale, elbow to knee, round in. Think cat pose as you bring your elbow to your knee. Now, if only your leg is lifted, bring only your knee to your chest. Next, inhale, extend your arm and leg long, reaching in opposite directions, flex your foot. Exhale, round in. Inhale, we reach. Looking for a little balance challenge here. Exhale, round in. If you want more of a challenge, close your eyes. Inhale, we reach one last time. Exhale, we round in. Inhale, reach and pause. Flex your foot. Exhale, hand and knee come down to the mat. Let's do a second side. Step left toes back behind you. Hips are level, squeezing our inner thighs towards one another. And then when you're ready, lift left leg up behind you. Flex your foot, take the bend out of your knee, and then rotate your inner thigh up so your toes point down. Both hands stay planted, or if you'd like more of a challenge, reach right arm forward. Really reaching your hand and your foot in opposite directions here. Deep breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee, adding the movement. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we round. Inhale, reach, 2 more. Exhale, round. Remember, you can close your eyes for a little bonus challenge. Inhale, reach. And exhale, we round in. Inhale, reach, pause for a brief moment. Then exhale, release hand and knee down to the mat. Bring your knees wide, almost as wide as your mat. Toes touch behind you. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Bring your forehead to the mat, child's pose. This is a great pose to relax in when you need a break. You can bring your hands back by your feet or reach your hands forward. We're just going to be here for about a breath or two. You can wring out your wrists if they were aggravated from the bird dog position. One more breath. And then if your hands are back behind you by your feet, you're going to reach your hands forward. Spread your fingers wide. Lift your hips up so you're in tabletop. Tuck your toes. Now sit your hips back a little bit so you create some length in your spine. Push into your hands, and then from here, keep this length and just start to lift your hips. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit here. Downward facing dog. Connect to your breath. Find some movement in your downward dog, maybe pedaling out your feet, bending into one knee and then the other. Just feeling into what would be best for your body right now. It's our first down dog of this practice, so you may be feeling a little tight or maybe you feel some openness. Just notice what's arising for you today in this practice. As you continue to move, I'm going to talk about some alignment cues. So your fingers are going to spread really wide. Your hands are shoulder distance apart. You're going to take your biceps and rotate them forward so you have an opening against through the top part of your back. You're going to have your feet hip distance apart or a little bit wider. Knees are going to be bent. You're going to push into your hands and lift your hips towards the back top corner of the room. Deep breath in here. Find some stillness. And then exhale, walk your feet to the front of the mat. So little baby steps or big steps, it doesn't matter. You're just walking forward to the front of the mat. Once you get to the front of the mat, we're in a halfway lift. Inhale, hands onto your shins. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Rotate your inner thighs back. Exhale, fold in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift, hands onto your shins. Extend the crown of your head forward as your tailbone reaches back. Exhale, fold in. Last one. Inhale, hands onto your shins. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Slight tuck of your chin. Exhale, fold it in. Now bend into your knees a lot. Tuck your tailbone a little bit as we roll up one vertebrae at a time, allowing your head to be the last to lift. And no rush to get there, but once you come to standing, lift your shoulders up and back a couple times, just rotating through our shoulders, releasing any tension in through our neck. And then we'll find Tadasana. Feet are going to be either hip distance or a little bit closer together. You're going to anchor into your feet, spread your toes wide, engage your quads so your kneecaps lift, and then you're going to engage your core, take your navel to your spine. That'll allow you to lift your chest a little bit more. Crown of your head lifts up towards the ceiling, hands by your sides, palms face forward. Gentle squeeze with your shoulder blades. Tadasana, close your eyes here. Feel your feet on the mat as you extend the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Notice your breath. Notice any sensations in your body. Notice where your attention is. And we'll move through some sun salutations here in just a moment. First round's going to be modified. If your eyes are closed, blink them open. Inhale, reach your fingertips out wide and up. Maybe you look up. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Inhale, hands onto your shins, halfway lift, squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, plant your hands down onto the mat, step back, plank pose. So we'll find our plank position first before we lower down to the mat. Feet are about hip distance, a little bit wider. Hands are underneath your shoulders, fingers spread really wide. Push into your hands, lift your chest away from the mat. And then you're going to lift the backs of your kneecaps up towards the ceiling. Engage through your core. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, lift your chest away from the mat, but pull your chest forward so you have length through your spine. Last breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, slight hinge forward, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes once you get there. Hands stay right underneath your shoulders, but squeeze your elbows in. Inhale, baby cobra first. Slight tuck of your chin, push the tops of your feet into the mat, and be sure you're pushing your pinky toes into the mat to help support your lower back. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, lower forehead down to the mat. We'll do that 1 more time. Inhale, push into your hands, lift your chest, maybe stay in baby cobra, or maybe go a little bit higher. Elbows stay bent in cobra. Squeeze your elbows in, then bring your shoulder blades down your back. Slight tuck of your chin so you have length in the back of your neck, and then push the tops of your feet into the mat. Deep breath in. And exhale, lower down to the mat. Tuck your toes under. Make your way up to tabletop, and then again, sit your hips back towards your heels. Keep this length in your spine. Start to lift your hips and straighten your legs into downward facing dog. Remember, downward dog is more about the length in your spine than how straight your legs are. So if you have a generous bend in your knees or a little slight bend into your knees, that's absolutely fine. There's no criteria saying your heels have to touch the mat, so just allow your heels to lift if that's best for you. Inhale, look forward between your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, step, hop, or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold in. Root down into your feet, rise up to standing. Push into your heels as you lift the crown of your head up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Tadasana. 2 more rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, plank pose, step back or jump back if that's in your practice. Hinge forward, lower down halfway or all the way down to the mat for your chaturanga. Inhale, untuck your toes, baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. For up dog, your thighs are off the mat. Exhale, roll over your toes, hips up and away, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Maybe shake your head, yes or no, relieving any tension you're holding in your neck here. 1 more breath. Next, inhale, look forward between your hands. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk, step, hop to the front of the mat, finding the best option for you for this round. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold it in. Root down into your feet, rise up, arms sweep wide and high. And exhale, hands to your heart. Tadasana, arms by your sides. Last round here. Inhale, reach your fingertips out and up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, plank pose. You're welcome to step back or jump back. Hinge forward, bend your elbows, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend of choice, baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. And exhale, hips up and away, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. You're always welcome to come down to tabletop and do that instead of downward dog. And if you want the stretch from downward dog, you just extend one leg back at a time and get that stretch if that's what you're looking for. So remember that tabletop is always an option here. One more breath. Slow exhale. Next inhale, look forward, and exhale, travel to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it in. Bend into your knees, sit back like you're sitting into a chair, arms up, chair pose. So with chair pose, you're either gonna have your feet together or a little bit apart. Doesn't matter. A little bit apart will help if you have any tenderness in your lower back. So remember that for this class or future classes. And then from here, take your navel to your spine. You'll notice your pelvis will come into place. And then maybe you can lift your chest and your arms a little bit more. If not, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just meet yourself where you're at. One more breath here. Inhale. Hold, exhale. And then inhale, we rise to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sit back into your chair. We won't hold very long. Gentle squeeze with your inner thighs. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, flow through a vinyasa or go straight back to downward facing dog. Some cat-cows can be a good idea here. If you don't want to do the vinyasa, you can also hold plank for a little bit and then go straight to downward dog rather than lowering into chaturanga. From downward facing dog, inhale, right leg up and back behind you. Flex your foot, toes point down. Exhale, right knee to your chest, hinge forward into plank, and then step your foot between your hands. Maybe you need to grab your foot and place it there, and that's great. Don't worry about that. Just do what you need to do to get your foot there. Rotate your left heel down to the right so your back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And then windmill your arms up, warrior 2 position here. So with warrior 2, your front toes will face forward. Your back toes will be facing towards the left side of your mat. Arms out to a T. You're reaching your arms in opposite directions as you're squeezing your shoulder blades in towards one another, finding that little bit of duality. And then from here, notice your shoulders and where they are in line with your hips. You want to be stacked right over your shoulders over your hips. Settle into your front knee a little bit more. Make sure you can see your right big toe from the inside of your right knee. If not, you're going to open your right knee over to the right a little bit more. And then settle in here. Deep breath in. And slow breath out. Your gaze is over your front middle finger. Allowing yourself to be uncomfortable if you're feeling any uncomfortableness, and just connecting to your breath. Allowing everything to be just as it is. Next, inhale, you'll take your left hand to your back leg. You'll flip your right hand over and then lift your hand up towards the ceiling as you reverse your warrior. Keep the bend in the right leg. I know we've been holding it for a little while. Next, inhale, arms out to a T, and then from here, exhale, reach forward. Once you can't reach anymore, then rotate arms 6 and 12 o'clock. You're gonna bring your right elbow onto your right thigh, Left hand is going to rotate towards the front of your mat and then reach your left arm overhead, extended side angle. One line of energy from your left fingertips all the way down to your left heel. 2 more breaths. I know we've been holding the lunge for a little bit. Breathe here. Engage through your core. Know that this is completely temporary and we're almost done. Next, inhale, push into your heels, slight tuck of your tailbone. Inhale, back hand comes down, straighten your front leg, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, reverse your triangle, and then exhale, windmill your hands down to the mat. Place them so they're shoulder distance apart, step back, plank pose, flow through Vinyasa, or make your way straight back to downward facing dog. Connecting to your breath, finding your back bend as you inhale, and then finding your downward dog as you exhale. Let's do the second side here. Inhale, left leg up and back behind you. Extend through your heel, flex your foot. Exhale, left knee to your chest, hinge forward, and then step your foot between your hands. Remember, you're able to grab your foot and take it there if you need to today. Rotate your right heel down to the left so your back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Windmill your arms up when you're ready, warrior 2. So again, front foot is facing forward, back foot is facing out to the right. Arms are out to a T, squeezing shoulder blades in a little bit as you reach your fingertips out. Look down into the inside of your left knee. Make sure you can see your left big toe. If not, your left knee goes over to the left a little bit. 2 more breaths in your warrior 2. Maybe you go a little deeper knowing that that's all you have left, or not, just finding what is better for you in this moment. Next, inhale, right hand comes to your back leg. Flip your left arm hand over and lift it up towards the ceiling. Reverse your warrior. Bend into your front knee, maybe just a little bit more. And then from here, inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, start to reach your left arm forward. Once you can't reach anymore, then rotate arms 6 and 12 o'clock. Left forearm could come to thigh or to the inside of your leg, and then reach right arm up towards the ceiling. Rotate right palm towards the front of the room, and then reach your right arm forward for your extended side angle. Recommit into that bend into your left leg. 2 more breaths. You've done much more challenging things in your life. Knowing that this is only temporary. And then pushing into your heels, slight tuck of your tailbone, reverse your triangle, straighten your front leg as your back hand comes back, front arm lifts up. And then exhale, windmill your hands down to the mat, make your way to downward dog. Flowing through Vinyasa, doing some cat-cows, checking out a child's pose, holding plank, all options are great. You're welcome to get as creative as you'd like for your Vinyasa today. Once in your downward dog, take a deep breath in and then open your mouth, breath out. One more like that. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Seal your lips, inhale. Breathe out through your nose, exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold it in. Root down into your feet, rise up to standing. You're always welcome to have a bend in your knees if you need to. Exhale, hands to your heart. Tadasana, hands by your sides. We're going to come into tree pose. First, I'm going to show you some options here, and then we'll go into it together. So we're going to lift our right leg first for our tree pose. Our left leg's going to be our foundation. Now, when you set your right foot up, you're going to bring your right knee out to the right, and you're going to set your right foot either on your ankle, on your calf, or on the inside of your left thigh. Okay, so this is an option. The only option you don't have is on your knee. Don't do that. Okay, so set up your foot. Knee goes out to the side. Find the position that you'd like, either on your ankle, your calf, or your inner thigh. If you're doing the inner thigh, push your left thigh into your right foot and your right foot into your left thigh. And then take your right knee back behind you. So stand up tall, hands to your heart. Push into the base of your left big toe. And then from here, you can hold with your hands at your heart or grow your branches, arms overhead for traditional tree pose. You're welcome to have your hands in any position. They can be in a V, they can touch overhead. You can have your arms out to a T, maybe Egyptian style. That's always kind of fun. Just play with it, find what works for you. If you want more of a challenge, close your eyes. Find a spot in front of you that's not moving. That'll help you to find your drishti gaze and to go within, helping to drown out everything else that's going on around you. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. One last inhale. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Gently release your right foot and place it back down on the mat. Shake out your left foot or your right foot, whatever you need right now. All right, now you know where we're going. We go to the second side a little easier. So we'll anchor into the right foot this time. So feel what that feels like. And then you're gonna take your left foot and you're gonna place it again, ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Again, if you're doing the inner thigh, you're gonna push your right thigh into your left foot and your left foot into your right thigh. So they're sandwiching in. That'll create some stability in through your hips. Bring your hands to your heart. Take your left knee behind you just slightly as you push your left hip forward. From here, you keep your hands at your heart or your hips or arms overhead, finding maybe a different variation with your arms this time or the same thing. Notice if one side is a little bit easier than the other, or maybe they're very similar. Doesn't matter, just noticing, becoming mindful of what's going on, being conscious of what is happening in your body. One more breath. Last inhale here. And then on your exhale, hands to your heart, gently releasing your left foot down to the mat. Shake out anything you need to shake out. Sometimes I like to shake out the foot I was standing on because it kind of burns from all that balancing challenge. All right, so come to the top of your mat if you're not already there. We're gonna make our way down to the mat with a very fun chair transition. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, sit back into your chair. My suggestion would be feet would be hip distance apart. Inhale, lift your chest, stay low in your hips. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Now maybe you reach your arms forward a little bit to help support you. Inhale, broaden across your chest. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Maybe your thighs are parallel to the mat, maybe not. Inhale. Exhale, a little deeper. We have one more after this. Inhale. And exhale, sit all the way down onto the mat. Woo! All right. Yeah, when I say it's a fun transition, maybe you'll think otherwise. Not always fun necessarily. Okay, let's do boat pose. So we're gonna sit on our sit bones. And then when we do boat, we want to lean back a little bit, but we don't want to round through our back. So we want to lift our chest up, and then we're going to only lean back as far as we can keep our spine long, and we're not rounding in the lower part of our back. So that's most important in this pose. So you're gonna either have your hands behind your thighs, toes on the mat, feet on the mat. That's an excellent option. If you need more support in that position, hands can be back behind you, lift chest, and you'll still feel your core engaged. That's an option too. If you want more than that, you're gonna lift your feet off the mat. You can always do one at a time if that would better support you. And then if it's in your practice, straighten your legs. I am not able to do that, but I know some of you will be able to, so know you're able to do that if you'd like. Hands by your sides, reach forward, lift your chest. Remember the most important thing, spine is long. Breathe here, inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale, broaden across your chest. Exhale, strengthening our core. Last breath. And exhale. Release your feet down to the mat. Find a cross of your legs, hands by your hips, and then just push into your hands. Lift your chest up, and then you'll notice a little release in your lower back. We're gonna do boat pose one more time. So sometimes that little release will feel good in between sides. So here we go. This time, find your variation. Maybe it looks the same, maybe it looks a little different. Whatever it is, remember spine is long. Find your position. Lift your legs if you're doing that one. Hands by your sides if you're doing that. Breathe here. Lift your chest, engage through your core. Make sure your lower back is not rounding. Find your breath. If you want a little bit of challenge, maybe you tap right toes down to the mat and then left toes down to the mat without touching. You can do a couple times each side. One more breath here. And then release. Cross your legs, hands by your sides. Gently lift your chest up. You'll feel a little release into your lower back. You can kind of shake side to side. All right, let's make our way onto our backs. Feet are gonna plant onto the mat, arms reach forward, go ahead and roll on down one vertebrae at a time, allowing your head to be the last to come down, not allowing momentum to pull you down. Setting up for bridge pose. Feet are going to be hip distance apart, and your ankles are gonna be right underneath your knees. So if you're not sure where your feet are positioned, if they're in the right spot, if you can slightly tickle your heels, you're most likely in the right spot. All of us have different proportions, but that's typically a good sign that you're in the right spot. Okay, hands by your sides. Plant your feet into the mat, really push them down, push into your heels, and then inhale, lift your hips off the mat. Once you lift your heels off the mat, notice if you can push into the base of your big toe mounds, and then your inner thighs will engage a little bit, and you'll feel a little bit more lift in through your bridge position. Push your hands into the mat. If you'd like, you can lift your toes off the mat as long as the rest of your feet stay on the mat. Sometimes that's helpful, sometimes not. Push into your heels and then energetically pull your heels towards your body, and you'll notice your hamstrings will engage just a little bit more. One more breath. And then next, exhale, gently release your hips down to the mat. We're gonna take a figure four. Take your right ankle onto your left thigh. You can hang out here, push your right knee away with your right hand, or you can thread behind your left thigh or your left calf, or in front of your left calf, I should say, for a figure four. Flex your right foot. The goal is to move your right knee away from your body if you can. However, sometimes that's not always easy to do in this position. If you'd like, you can rock your legs side to side. Sometimes that can feel good. Or just find stillness, finding that one spot that feels like the sweet spot today. Connect to your breath. If you've lost the flex in your right foot, reflex. Just a good way to protect your knee. Not completely necessary all the time, but if you have any tenderness in your knee, it's a really good idea to have that flex. And then release your left foot down to the mat. Keep your legs in figure four, arms out to a T. Inhale here. Then on your exhale, you're gonna take your legs just as they are over to the left. You might have to move your hips a little to the right. That's okay. But you're gonna keep your legs in figure four here. And from here, we're just gonna lay in a supine twist, figure four. You can look over your right shoulder towards your right hand. Finding that stretch. You'll feel the stretch in the right hip, outer hip really, is where you'll feel that. We'll do one more breath in this position. And then you'll just take your right leg, stack it on your left leg for a supine twist. Here you can take your left hand onto your right thigh and just gently press your leg down if that would be of service for you. If not, that's fine too. You can always put a blanket or a pillow between your legs or a block if you have it. Just gently relaxing here. If you need to calm down your nervous system or add a little extra stress reducing movement, go ahead and rock your head side to side. Very calming for the nervous system. It helps to deregulate the nervous system. If you're rocking your head, find neutral in your own time. Everybody bring your knees up back into center, feet onto the mat. Let's do the second side. Take your left ankle onto your right thigh. Keep your foot here, keep your leg here, or just push your leg away with your left hand. You can also thread behind your right leg or in front of your right calf. Flex your left foot. If you found movement on the other side, you're welcome to do that here. And no, you don't have to do the same thing on each side, but it may feel good if it felt good on that side. Connect to your breath. Notice those parts of your body touching the mat, helping you to ground down. We'll gently release, bringing right foot down to the mat. Keep your legs just as they are in figure 4, arms out to a T. Inhale. And then exhale, take your legs over to the right. So your left foot will come down to the mat. Your outer right leg will touch down onto the mat. And from here, we'll find this figure 4 stretch in a supine twist. You can look over your left shoulder if that felt good on the other side. The goal is to find the stretch in the left hip here. Just connect to your breath, knowing that you don't need to be anywhere else but right here. Don't need to think about anything else but your breath and what you're feeling in your body. You're exactly where you need to be. And then you're going to unhook your left foot, and then you're going to stack your left knee on your right, or making your way to that position. Again, you can put a block or a blanket or a pillow in between your legs if that would be of service for you. If not, just go ahead and allow gravity to pull your leg down. And you can also take your right hand onto your left thigh to help to intensify the stretch. If you rocked your head side to side and it felt good on the other side, you could do that here. Again, deregulating the nervous system. Bring your head to neutral when you're ready. Engage your core, knees back up into center. Reposition your hips if you move side to side during those twists. Bring your knees into your chest when you're ready. You can rock side to side. You can hang out here with knees in. You can bring your knees a little wider if that's serving you better today. Or lift your feet towards the ceiling. You can come to happy baby, grabbing onto your feet, your ankles, your backs of your thighs. You can also take a strap or something like a strap, like a towel or something, and pull your feet down with that. Some people also like to take their peace fingers and hold onto their big toes. All options are great. Just find what works for you. And if you'd like, straighten one leg and then the other. That may feel good on the hamstrings, especially if you've been sitting a lot, which a lot of us have been. And just one more breath here. Releasing the stretch, knees into your chest one last time. We're going to bring our forehead to our knees. We're going to make our way into a tight little ball. Squeeze everything in, even squeeze your face in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Deep breath in. And exhale. Release into your Shavasana. So know your Shavasana may look different than it has in the past. You're welcome to have legs long, arms long on the mat, just like traditional Shavasana. You can have feet on the mat and just let them sit there, or maybe knees touch in the middle. Feet together, knees out wide. You could be seated. You could be in child's pose. All options are great. Just find the best position that will allow you to relax the most. You're welcome to make any wiggles or do any movements as you find this position that works for you. And once you've found that position, deep breath in. Open your mouth, breath out. Inhale. Notice your hips, and exhale, feel your hips melting into the mat. Deep breath in. Notice your chest, your core. Exhale, feel your core and your chest melting into the mat. Breath in here. Focus on your neck and your jaw. Exhale, release any tension in your neck and your jaw. One more breath together. Inhale. Bring your attention onto your whole back body touching the mat. Exhale, feel that whole part of your body melting, relaxing, surrendering into your mat. Shavasana. Start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Make your next breath a little deeper than the last. Start to welcome small movements in through your fingers and toes. You can wiggle your fingers, you can wiggle your toes, or point and flex your feet. Make fists with your hands and spread your fingers wide. Just go with what's most natural for you. Start to rotate in through your wrists and ankles, making bigger movements if you'd like in through your legs and your arms. When you're ready, reach your arms overhead, legs long below you, stretching your body in opposite directions. Taking a big breath in. Feel the stretch go all the way through your body and hold as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, release the stretch. Make your way to the fetal position on either side. Not thinking about which side would be better, just going with what feels best. Once you find your way to the fetal position, just notice any sensations or lack of sensations. Notice how you feel now compared to the beginning of class. Acknowledge yourself for making it to your mat and giving back to yourself, loving your body like only you can do. Very powerful practice. No rush to get there. Make your way to a seated position. You can use your top hand to lift your torso up. And then once you're in an upright position, any position with your legs will be great. Take your time to get to your seated position. And once you're there, make some movements, maybe rock side to side, feeling your sit bones on the ground. Feel any part of your body touching the mat. Hands to your heart, gently bowing your chin towards your chest in honor of this practice. Deep breath in. Open your mouth, breath out. It has been such an honor to guide you through your practice. Thank you so much. Namaste. I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you again. Bye.